Hi guys, in today's video we will know about the metaverse and why is it so controversial. The metaverse is a long way off, but the hype is already here in full force. Out of seemingly nowhere, the metaverse has simultaneously become a subject of excitement and controversy over the past few months. While companies like Facebook or Meta and Microsoft predict that the metaverse will someday replace the internet, critics argue it's a marketing gimmick that won't ever see the light of day. So, let's explore what it is actually and how it could affect our lives in the future and why is it so controversial subject today. The metaverse is best described as an amalgamation of virtual reality or augmented reality and 3D digital worlds. The basic idea is to introduce a sense of presence to the internet, like think 3D avatars and synchronized virtual spaces that everyone can share. You could visit a friend's virtual house in the metaverse using a VR headset, for example, or attend a digital concert and conference with augmented reality glasses. To hear Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella say it, his vision of the metaverse isn't too far off from the way today's video games work. In an interview, he said metaverse is essentially about creating games. It is about being able to put people, places, things in a physics engine and then having all the people, place, things related to each other. You and I will be sitting on a conference room table soon with either our avatar or our hologram or even 2D surface with surround audio. Several major tech companies have hopped on the metaverse bandwagon by now, sometimes with varying visions. Social media companies like Facebook are among the loudest proponents today, claiming that the technology will revolutionize the way many of us socialize by the end of this decade. The company even changed its name to Meta to reflect its commitment to the metaverse. Escapism and building social experience aren't the only goal of the metaverse, though. Microsoft believes that the metaverse could make remote work more personal through Microsoft Teams. Video game developers such as Epic Games, meanwhile, hope to create a unique world beyond what's possible in the real world. Finally, supporters of decentralized technologies claim that it could enable digital ownership and entire virtual economics. When will the metaverse arrive? It's fair to assume that we are a few years off from the metaverse most marketing materials promise us, even though some of the basic building blocks already exist today. Even though VR headsets have become relatively affordable over the past few years, they are still rather niche in the grand scheme of things. Augmented reality hardware like Ray-Ban stores, spectacles, and meanwhile have yet to reach technological maturity, let alone affordability and mass appeal. The metaverse is still a long way off from the mass adoption. However, early adopters can participate in smaller scale experiences right away. The software industry, however, is confident that competing application is all it will take to drive users to the metaverse. Many companies invested significant amounts of money to the technology, and we have started to see some of it come to fruition of late. Meta, for instance, opened up horizon worlds and workroom towards the end of 2021, allowing users of its Quest VR headset to join shared social places and collaborate in virtual meeting rooms. Decentraland, meanwhile, is a virtual world built on top of the decentralized Ethereum network, which means that the platform is largely controlled by its user instead of a singular company. You only need a web browser to explore Decentraland's 3D world, attend festivals, and play games within the universe. It also offers a peer-to-peer marketplace where you can buy and sell virtual plots of land using its native Mana cryptocurrency. Samsung even has its own place in Decentraland, tilted 837X. It's modeled after the company's flagship location in New York City, complete with a theater for launch events like Samsung Unpacked. Why is the metaverse so controversial? The ambiguity surrounding the metaverse has earned it quite a bit of criticism. With no tangible product or goal in sight, the technology is little more than a buzzword at the moment. Indeed, a consistent theme emerges if you look closer at the lofty promises. Virtually nobody can agree on a single definition or description for the technology. The metaverse could have different meanings depending on whom you ask. Supporters of the metaverse are optimistic and that it will be open and universal standard, but given the tech industry's current obsession with walled gardens, it seems unlikely. The most likely reality is that you will be able to visit different metaverse worlds as and when needed, not too dissimilar from modern video games and the internet in general. Even so, many simply cannot see the appeal of living in the metaverse full time or even for long periods of time. The metaverse is a fragmented and dystopian concept right now, making it a tough sell. A couple from Tamil Nadu brought tradition and technology together when they hosted their wedding reception in the metaverse. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, they had to cap the number of friends and family at 100 for their marriage and reception, so they decided to solemnize their marriage in the presence of a small group of people at Shivalingapuram and hold their reception virtually on metaverse. The group was also working on blockchain technology for the past 1 year, so they adopted for Hogwarts themed reception since both are Harry Potter fans. A startup called Tardyverse worked for a month to create the metaverse where the reception is hosted. Their father-in-law passed away, so they decided to create a 3D avatar that looks similar to him, and as a result, he will bless them, and that's something they can only do in the metaverse. The wedding also included NFTs. Special edition NFTs were launched by Guardian Link and are available on beyondlife.club marketplace. The NFT collection includes artwork featuring backgrounds and the attires from the Harry Potter and cyberpunk era, in addition to the classical wedding attire featuring the bride, groom and bridesmaid father. Dinesh, who is a project associate with IIT Madras, had earlier explained how the idea of metaverse marriage came to him. So he came up with the idea of having a metaverse wedding reception. He had been into crypto and blockchain technologies and have been mining Ethereum, a form of cryptocurrency, for the last 1 year. Since blockchain is the basic technology of metaverse, so when his wedding was fixed, he thought of having a reception of metaverse. Another point of criticism is that several core components that amount to the metaverse have already been around for a long time. Online virtual worlds and ecosystem in particular have coexisted for nearly 2 decades in the form of passively multiplayer online games. Second Life, for instance, allow you to create avatars, interact with others in shared social space, and even collect in-game currency, all the way back in 2003. VR Chat, meanwhile, is consistently among the top played virtual reality game on Steam, with tens of thousands of players logging on every single day. Ultimately, if the metaverse is to succeed, it needs to appeal to a broader set of users than just gamers. One thing is clear though, with the amount of investment and talent entering the industry, the idea of a metaverse isn't going away anytime soon.